let's turn this into this. But before we do that, let's take a quick recap of the project so far. In episode 3, I made a start on my early war French infantry. I still have 2 squads left to paint and base. It's been a slow month this month, and I have not yet finished the last 20. But the major colours are down, and a few more evenings work and they will all be finished. They have been a real joy to paint, and I'm looking forward to finishing them and adding them to the French that I've already done. Let's start. Hello, my name is Gareth, and this is the 4th episode of my video blog, a blog documenting my journey into Warlord Games Bolt Action. Thank you to everyone for all your support over the past 3 months. It has been greatly appreciated, and I've enjoyed reading and replying to all of the comments. If you haven't done already, please do consider subscribing to the channel, as it really helps with pushing the project along. In this episode, I will be unboxing, building and painting the SD.KFZ Hanomag from Warlord Games. In this kit you get a set of instructions, then a little bag with a set of 3 fire damage markers. They are a nice addition, but I don't really like them and I don't think I'll be using them. You also get a printed card with stats and details of the unit on. Another thing you get with Warlord purchases is a little card telling you who packed your box. So thank you Vaz for the excellent packing. Finally, in the bag you get a set of water slide transfers. Onto the sprues, you get 2 individual sprues, not many pieces on each, but they are clearly labelled and match up well with the instructions. This is a really nice clean kit. The mould lines look minimal and it looks like it will be a good build. Onto the building. This kit was a joy to put together. Nice clear instructions. Oddly, the first set of instructions that I've had in any of the 4 bolt action kits I've purchased so far. Coming from a Warhammer background where every kit has instructions, this is definitely a change. But it hasn't proven to be a problem yet. Although I have been told that some of the artillery kits that Warlord do are tricky to put together without instructions. After making a start with the early war German Blitzkrieg infantry and support group, I was looking for a nice thematic next addition to the force. After reading the comments and doing some research, I settled on the Hanomag as an iconic vehicle. I can also use it throughout the war for any period that I decide to play. As I have said, this whole project is themed around the 1940 Fall of France campaign. I think this is an overlooked aspect of the Second World War, both in history and in bolt action. I think it will give me some good possibilities with scenarios and missions to play, as well as being an interesting period to research. When I was doing some research on this vehicle, I came across some information on the Hanomag. Apparently it was not referred to as the Hanomag during the war, Hanomag being the name of the company that made them. It was apparently referred to as the SD.KFZ and was only called a Hanomag after the war. I'm not sure if this is true. This is not a dedicated history YouTube channel, but that is what I read. The kit comes with a removable MG figure. You can slot the MG into a pre-made hole on the top of the vehicle. You could leave this unglued and remove it, but I was not a fan of this method. I think the gun would have snapped off after a bit of use. So instead I glued a small magnet to the Hanomag and the other one to the MG gun. This way I can attach it without worrying that it'll eventually snap off. Also, this will allow me to add other weapon systems and attach them to the Hanomag easily. I have seen versions with a light anti-tank gun. As I don't have the rulebook or the Armies of Germany book yet, I'm not sure what else you can attach, but at the very least it'll give me some options for the future. I should have used a slightly smaller magnet, but this was all I had to hand. When it's painted up, I think it'll come out just fine. And here is the fully built model. I'm pleased with how it turned out. It was a quick build and I managed to get it done start to finish in one evening session. This was helped greatly by the clear instructions and the limited number of parts on the sprue. To undercoat the model, I used the very nearly last of my Citadel Mechanicus Standard Grey. I really do need to get another spray, but I'm determined to use every last bit of this one. And now onto the painting. After the spray paint had dried, I gave the model another thin coat of Mechanicus Standard Grey. This was to ensure that I'd completely covered the model and to try and get a nice, smooth, consistent colour. I really didn't use that many colours when painting the Hanomag. I painted the wheels and track black, the headlights in a mix of blue and white. Once I had the base colours down, I used 2 washes to bring out the detail. These were Nuln Oil and Agrax Earthshade. And to weather the vehicle, I used a mix of 4 or 5 different browns and greens. I will put a full list of the paints that I used in the description below. For the MG gunner, I painted him in exactly the same way that I painted my early war Blitzkrieg Germans. I covered the paints that I used in episode 1 of my video blog, in case anyone wants to see how it was done. To finish, I added the water slide transfers to the model, and I then gave it a blast of varnish spray to take away the shine from some of the washes. I'm not going to get into all that, but Nuln Oil is not what it used to be. So, I am now 3 months into this project and we've made some good progress. It was always going to be a slow grow build, but I now have 3 squads of early war German infantry, 2 German support squads and a HQ, and very nearly now a transport. On the French side, I have a core of infantry that is nearly finished, and I would like to add a transport to them. I have seen a nice looking Burliet, if that's how you pronounce it, VUBD armoured transport online for only £16. So I will either add this next or Warlord Games Metal French support group. That comes with the MG, a mortar, a spotter and a HQ. It's such an iconic vehicle of the Second World War and instantly recognisable in a way that I think only a few other vehicles of that conflict have achieved. The nice thing about this kit is that you could add to it in so many different ways. You could take out the seats in the back and turn it into a command unit or supply or medical support vehicle. And here is the finished Hanomag. I am really pleased with how it turned out. It was a really great kit and easy to put together and fun to paint. As I said, I'd added a small magnet that can be easily removed so that I can remove the MG gunner. I will get an extra weapon system that I can attach on eventually. I have been thinking long and hard on the question of whether to base my bolt action tanks and vehicles or not. I have seen many with and I have seen many without. I think my conclusion is that they look better with a base on display and better without a base on the tabletop. Realistically, a big proportion of this model's life will be spent on the shelf, with as much game time as I can get in between. So I think I will be adding a base for that reason. It also gives me the option to do some mini diorama work on the bases. I'm not completely set on this yet, and will think over it until I buy a base and see where I go from there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, I didn't make as much progress this month as I would have liked, but getting the Hanomag finished minus the base and getting a lot of the initial colours down on the remaining French infantry has not been a bad start. My aim between now and the next video will be to get all of my remaining tasks done and start planning the next purchase. Once again, thank you for watching and following my journey into Bolt Action.